Hello. This is a recording of, give me 2 seconds. This is a recording of my proposal for World Heritage Studies. So let me just switch to my main desktop here. So, new proposal for World Heritage Studies, 2023, end of March. So, after a long chat with Jane, just to brainstorm, and then, of course, ideas that I presented to her, and then she bounced back. The new idea is the following. We have our foundation semester plus third semester with all 5 classes at the beginning of the program mandatory, being UNESCO stuff, you can find a better name for it, taught by the head of program. Why head of program? Because one of the things that would be nice for students to see is that their head of program is actively involved in the program, and the way to do that is by introducing the UNESCO stuff. Then for our mandatories, we have 3 areas that we'll cover. We have our social sciences, our built heritage architectural conservation, and then heritage management plans. And then cultural landscapes would be our final 5th mandatory. The reason why cultural landscapes is because since we have so few offerings anyway in what is now currently green, but in terms of nature and culture, cultural landscapes fits this and fits this very well and supports that area that is necessary for those who are working in culture and heritage to understand the nature culture divide and now interconnectedness. So what do these numbers mean? Basically, the number is the is a hypothetical student enrollment number. So, for example, UNESCO stuff would have a class of 40, every student that is part of World Heritage Studies first batch. And then for discourses, same thing. For conservation, same thing. Heritage management plan, same thing. Cultural landscape, same thing. The numbers below are, of course, the different other classes that people can take. And so let's say, for example, we have our 3rd semester students. They're being taught in these potential courses, all the ones on the side here. And then it's either their 2nd or 3rd class, their 1st class being a mandatory thesis colloquium, and then, of course, 2 study project offerings. Then we go to 2nd semester. 2nd semester then has your offerings. This would be now the focus semester, where you decide your focus in your research and education. So here you have an offering of critical heritage perspective, legal aspects of heritage, tourism, architecture, city space, history of architecture, impact assessments, culture, globalization, archaeology, conservation of ruins. These are the options that you would have during the summer semester, in addition to the study project offerings for those students. And then, of course, we go back up 3rd semester. We have these offerings right here for those students completing their final semester, in addition to a mandatory thesis colloquium. Now, how do students pick in this pool of classes? The current idea is that instead of our regular, our division between disciplines, right? We divide classes currently between disciplines. We say this is architectural conservation, we say this is etc., this is etc. The proposal that was brought up during the meeting about thematic areas is quite nice, but of course we don't necessarily want to go all too complicated because we can make as many thematic areas as possible. Instead, what we can do is we can look at them in terms of accessible pool of classes to take. So architectural conservation built heritage plus social sciences pool, the social sciences plus heritage management, cultural management pool, and then the heritage management plus architectural conservation built heritage pool. These pools of classes are taking what we already have, as the different colors, and we are combining the colors, which is why we have green, purple, and orange, because it's combining those colors. And then in this pool, sorry, this shouldn't be bold here. In this pool here, the students during their second semester will decide what specialization they will go into. These, of course, will be titled some fancy way, I don't know what. But then a student in second semester will then decide by the end of their second semester, I have X amount of classes in the heritage management and architectural conservation pool. We already have a foundation for this, in the sense that they all will have to take one class in each of these pools, right? So discourses, conservation, heritage management plans, all of them are part of the pools that are marked below. They then will have to pick 4 classes. We can say 4 because in the first semester, let's just quickly do the calculation. So first semester, it's 5 mandatories, 5 classes. That's it. We don't even call them mandatories. They have to take 5 classes. These are the classes. Second semester, second semester, then you have 3 classes. You have 3 classes that you can pick from, 3 classes plus study projects. And then third semester, we have 2 classes plus the thesis colloquium plus study projects. 2 free classes. Okay? So to be part of one of the pools, right? The pools on the side here, you need to have probably 4 classes that you've taken. So this means that in second semester, third semester, you will take 4 classes of each that is available in the pool. Doesn't matter what is in the pool. They can take 4 classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will count them for that specific specialization, whatever combination of specialization, right? And then they have another class that they can flip and flex however they might want to do it. This can be 4 classes, this can be 5 classes, but the recommendation would be 4 so that it gives them flexibility. If we say 5, that's also okay. But the important piece that we need to keep in mind is that we would have these pools to reference what classes they can take. So let's do an example year. So I will take all the mandatories. They're down here. So first semester, I take all of these mandatories, and thesis colloquium we'll put to the side here. This is my first year. No change, no adjustments, that's it. Now, for my second semester, let's say, we'll take this out. Second semester, I want to take, let's see, I have 3 class options. I'm just going to take these 3. Copy. Legal aspects of heritage, tourism, architecture, city, space. These are my classes for second semester. Okay. Now, what I can do is at the end of the second semester, I can say, okay, I've taken legal aspects, tourism, and architecture, city, space. So let me find in these pools. So legal aspects, heritage is here, tourism, and what was the other one? Legal aspects, tourism, architecture, city, space. So legal aspects, tourism, architecture, city, space. So this would lead me to do this path, right? Potentially. But it doesn't necessarily fix me to this particular path of heritage management plus architectural conservation. Let's try for the third semester. Third semester, I want to take, we have these options right here. I want to take advanced research and critical publication. I only have 2 for the 3rd semester. I'll just do this, move it over. And what do I also want here? Maybe I want intercultural competence. Sure. Now, intercultural competence. All right. Advanced research, critical publication, intercultural competence. So now if I look, legal aspects, intercultural competence is here, intercultural competence is here. So now we're in a different set of pools, right? And an advanced research publication is also in these 2 pools. So now I have access to 2 pools, right? Because now I have advanced research publication, intercultural competence, tourism, and legal aspects. So I could potentially do, I would not be able to do architectural conservation and social sciences pool. However, I would be able to do the social sciences and heritage management pool, or heritage management and architectural conservation. It gives me 2 options that I can finish my studies with. Now, if, for example, we decided instead of 4, you need to have 4 in a certain area. If we'd said 5, then we would have to restrict basically how they would flex between the groups. But in any case, if we do 4, it lends for more flexibility. It allows the students to do what they need to do. The pools are based, of course, on the current chairs, with a few exceptions of classes here and there. But that's the idea. That's it. I'm going to pack this up, upload it, and then send it. And you can take a look. And I'm over 10 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh well.